Yeah, so if we want to see the graphical representation, so as we have seen in this chart, so income is going to increase from zero and it is going to continuously increase. So the Y income, if you see the curve, it's going to continuously increase. Yes, ma. Okay. And if you notice this particular curve, which is going, it will be equally dividing both the sides of x-axis and y-axis. So that means that it will be having 45 degrees angle. Okay, now coming for the consumption, so even if your income is also zero, you're going to consume. So that's the reason your C consumption is going to start from on the y-axis. So here because it's 100, so it will be marked from 100. And as your income is going to increase, the consumption is also going to increase. So that's the reason even your consumption curve is at an increasing trend. And via income and consumption, if you see, they both have an positive relationship. Why? Because as your income is going to increase, the consumption is also going to increase. Now coming for this, if you see, your consumption is more and your income is less. Okay, so what do? This we part of whatever we are saying, we call this to be a dissaving. Okay, why? What is dissaving? That's nothing but because your income is zero, either you have to borrow or either you have to steal or you have to take out from your savings what you had with you, or you sell off your property, whatever it might be. Yes, so here this part, we call it to be the dissavings. If you come for this, your income is more and your consumption is less, so that part we call that to be the savings. Yes, okay, so this is related to the consumption function. Now coming for the next one, we are going for the savings function. Okay, so savings function, before we go for the savings function, why saving function or consumption function we are learning? Because y is equal to c plus s. So consumption we have already seen. Now we will be seeing the savings function. So before we see the savings function, we will be learning about one concept of propensity to save. If you remember, we have done for that propensity to consume for a consumption function. So here we do it for savings function as propensity to save. So what is propensity to save? The word itself is saying that part of an income that which you tend to save as your income is going to increase. Okay, so average propensity to save is nothing but the that part of your income that you are going to save. Yes, or the ratio between your total income and your total savings. Okay, now coming for marginal propensity to save is nothing but the ratio between change in the savings by change in the income. So that is nothing but what? How much increase is there in your income. So depending upon that, how much are you going to save? Okay, so that is marginal propensity to save. So if you see, we have APS and APS and MPS. Okay, so these are the different cases. Okay, so if you see, APS can never be negative. Why it cannot be negative? Because your income is less and your consumption is more in this case. Okay, so because of that, it can be negative. Why? If you remember, we have seen in the consumption function, your income is zero but you are consuming. Yes, so that's the reason APS can be negative. Yes, APS will be equal to 0 when your consumption is equal to your income. Yes, ma. So that's nothing but what? You are getting your income to be 100 rupees and you are consuming to be 100 rupees. Then this case will be there. This case is what? Your income is 0. You are consuming 20 units, for example. Yes. So that minus figure whatever you have, that will be APS. Yes. So coming for APS will never be equal to 1. The reason is because your savings can never be equal to your income. Yes, yes or no? Say whatever you get your income, the entire amount you can't save. Why? The reason is because you are supposed to be alive or you are supposed to consume. So that's the reason APS will never be equal to 1. Okay, in the same way, APS can never be greater than 1. Okay, so that can never be greater than 1. Why? Because you can't save more than your income. Yes or no? If your income, take for example, is 10,000 rupees, you can't save 12,000 rupees. Yes. So that's the reason APS will always be less than 1. Now, coming for the marginal propensity to save. So, when there is an change in your income, how much of a change is happening with the savings when you want to find out, we call that to be the marginal propensity to save. Yes, okay. So, MPS will be equal to 0 when the increased income is spent completely. Okay, take for example, your income has increased by 2000 rupees. You are spending that entire 2000. Okay, so then MPS will be equal to 0. Okay, MPS can never be positive. Can never be negative, because as your income is going to increase, your savings will also increase. So that's the reason it will never be negative. Yes, coming for the next case, MPS will be equal to 1. Okay, as there is an increased income, your take for example, your salary is 10,000 rupees. Okay, it has been increased to 15,000. So entire 5,000 of difference whatever you have, you are going to save. Yes, okay, you are completely saving your income. Then MPS will be equal to 1. Okay, and MPS will never be greater than 1. Why? Because as you can't save more, like how can we say related to this is, so this is nothing but what you can't save more than what your is the increase in the income. That means what your increase in income is 2000 rupees, you can't save 5000 rupees. Okay, yes, so this is related to APS and MPS. Okay, now coming for the next concept, if you see, we this derivations like these are the equations what you are supposed to learn, but it can be asked for 2 marks. Yes, okay, so how did we derive this APC and A plus APS is equal to 1 is, see this equation we already learned, y is equal to C plus S. Okay, so now if you divide by y on both the sides, means y by y is equal to C by y plus, okay, S by y. So if you are dividing y on both the sides, y by y is going to be getting cancelled. C by y is nothing but what? APC plus S by y is nothing but APS. Okay, so you will be getting the equation as 1 is equal to APC plus APS. Now come for this. How did we derive this? So marginal propensity to save and marginal propensity to consume. Okay, yes. So this is basically when we are going to study the marginal propensities when there is a change. Yes. So that's the reason equation will be what? Delta Y is equal to delta C plus delta S. So change in your income is equal to change in your consumption plus change in your savings. So dividing both the sides with delta Y. So what you will be left out with? Delta y get cancelled, so it will be equal to 1. Okay, delta C by delta y is nothing but what? Your MPC. Delta S by delta y will be what? It will be your MPS. Okay, so 1 will be equal to MPC plus MPS. Okay, this can be asked for your 2 mark question. See, even for your 2 mark question, whatever you have, they can ask you about the propensity to save and propensity to consume and all those things. Yes, ma. Now, coming for the savings function. Okay, so savings function is nothing but the functional relationship between the saving and the income. Yes or no? So it's a relationship. So based upon your income, you're going to save. Yes. So that's the reason we call it to be the functional relationship. So this functional relationship can be numerical or it can be algebraical. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So S is, so if you're going to represent in an equation form, what are you going to get? S is equal to F of Y. Okay, S is equal to F of y. So that's nothing but what? Function of y. Okay, y is equal to C plus S. How y it is equal to y is, so we already know this formula, right? Income is equal to consumption plus savings. So if you want to find out what are savings, what are we supposed to do? Get the saving consumption on the other side. So when you're bringing consumption on the other side, it will be equal to what? S is equal to y minus C. Okay, see, saving is a very good like for the economy. Yes, why? The reason is because the entire amount whatever we save, you're going to invest. Yes, so that investment is going to give you more of an income for the people. Yes, so automatically what's going to happen, circulation of money is going to increase, the employment is going to increase. Yes, the goods and services are going to be better for the people and all those things. So your saving is a very good for the economy development. Yes, but that saving whatever we are doing, if we just keep it with us, then there is no development. Saving, take for example, if you put it in a bank, if you put it in a stock exchange, okay, yes, or if you are going to purchase some, then it is a useful one. If you are just keeping the entire amount whatever you have saved with you, you are not going to get anything out of it, because 100 rupees whatever you are keeping in your house, that 100 will be 100 only after 100 years also. Okay, but if you are going to put it in a bank, that 100 rupees after some time you will be getting interest, so at least from 100 it will become 120 or 130, that 130. So compounded interest, I think you might have learned in your smaller classes. Yes, ma. Okay, so with the savings, the GDP can be increased, the growth of the economy can happen and all those things. Okay, we'll see how it's going. So what did we say? S is equal to Y minus C. So what do we always see? Or why only like this you are going to take? Choice is yours, but only one thing what you are supposed to remember is, as you are supposed to take your income to be at an increasing trend and your consumption to be at an increasing trend. Because simple thing, because as your incomes are going to increase, consumption is going to increase. Okay, now how do we get this? S is equal to Y minus C. Your Y is 0, your consumption is 20. Yes, ma. So you are going to get minus 20 over here. Y is 0, my consumption is 20. So minus 20 here. Y is 50, your consumption is 60. So it is minus 10. Here both are equal. Now coming here, if you see, so your income is 200, your consumption is 180. So that is 20 rupees. Okay, yes, so basically what is happening initially, even if your income is 0 also, because you are consuming, you are going to get it from your savings. Yes, so that's the reason it is minus. Now coming here, what is happening? Your income is equal to your saving, so it will be an break-even point. See, that break-even point is there even in consumption function also, where you have C is equal to Y. Okay, ma. So here also the same thing. That is the that is the break-even point. Okay, so if your consumption is equal to your income, that point we call it to be the break-even point. Now here you see 150 is your income and 140. So you started saving from this point. Okay, yes. So if you are going to show, yes, your income, if you want, you can draw your income curve, you can draw your consumption curve and everything also, because it's saving function. If you draw the saving function, is always more than enough. Okay, so minus 20, so it is below than your 0, so that's the reason it is going to be shown down. Okay, so that is minus the minus 20, so it starts from here. When your income is equal to your consumption, that point we call it to be the break-even point. Above than that, what is happening? Your savings are more. Yes, okay. So now if you see here, as I have given you over here, S is less than 0. So this entire part will be your savings. This part will be your savings. Okay, yes. Now how do we find out the slope? Slope of any see, take for example, if you see here, what is happening, as your income is going to increase, your saving is also going to increase. So it's a positive relationship which has been shown over here, and it's a straight line. So whenever you are having anything, so slope, how do we find out? It's very easy. Okay, you have to put your y-axis on the top and x-axis to be the below. Okay, so slope will be over equal to what? Delta s by delta y. Okay, yes, so that is related to the slope. What is APS? We already learnt about it. That is nothing but what? S by y. Okay, so if you are going to extend this, we find out the APS and MPS. So here there is no chance, so just forget about it. Now coming for here, if you see S by Y, S is how much? Minus 10. Y is how much? 50. Okay ma? Yes, so because you have minus over here, so it will be minus 0.2. Next here, S by Y, so 0, 0 by 100, so we take it as a 0. Okay, now S is how much? 10, 10 by 150, so it is 0.06. Next it is 20 by